are you?
I am well, Miss Dana. How are you? And Happy New Year.
Happy
It's
New
so good
Year
to
to you
see
as
you
well.
across the country. You're in California. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a little envious of where you are because it's cold here. It's in the low 30s, high 20s.
Well,
So,
I am definitely enjoying this weather in Southern California because I'll be heading back to Paris, France in a week. I head
oh
back on the
wow.
6th, where I hear it's freezing cold. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that
Well,
weather.
enjoy that sunshine while you can.
I will. I absolutely will.
Well, this is our first uh Facebook page post. We tried to post on the page, have a Facebook Live, and that didn't work. So you've got two folks that are challenged with modern technology, but I think what we figured out was that we didn't have enough people in our Facebook group to do a live. Who knew?
Yeah.
So, for all of you that are listening to this video, we want to encourage you to encourage your friends to join our very special page for Black women, so that we can eventually do live broadcasts directly from the page. But it was a learning experience. I think we both learned something from from that experience, and we're doing it anyway, right?
Yes. Yes, we're doing it anyway. And this is first couple of days of a new year.
Yep. Happy
Um,
New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody. We're just trying something new, and we're gonna learn together as we go along. And
Yeah.
for those of you listening who have some tips for us, please, you can definitely add them into the comments, or you can send us
Yeah. Yeah.
DM us messages.
Share with us what you would like to hear. I mean, our focus is on wellness, and we're talking about mind, body, and spirit. And truthfully, this conversation is specifically for Black women because we need to take care of each other as we take care of ourselves. And so what we're hoping is that we create, I got to figure out a way to get that glare out that's coming through my window. But we really want to create a space where we can listen to each other and learn from each other,
Hmm. Hmm.
all while we are learning how to take better care of ourselves. So I'm Dr. Patricia White. I'm a veterinarian, recently retired, and I'm also a deep transformations and clarity coach. And so my focus is on mental and emotional well-being and self-care. That is where my area of expertise is and where my passion lies. What
Okay.
about you, Dana?
And I'm Dana. I am actually a trained chef. I'm not retired. I'm actually working as a private chef at the moment. I did a transformation in my life a year ago. I packed up everything and I moved to Paris, France. Again, where I'd love to establish myself as a private chef. That's my passion. And one of the most important things to me, important ways that we can protect our peace is through nourishing ourselves. Um, just creating routines around food, and just how we feel about food, how food makes us feel. And I think that's an important piece to our wellness. So that's where
Right,
my passion lies.
right.
So I'm here to share, I'm here to inspire, and I'm also here to, gather information for myself as well.
Right. I think the intersection of mind, body, spirit is no more um, relevant and evident than when we talk about
Hmm.
nourishing ourselves with food, and the act of preparing meals includes all of the senses. It's not just consuming. We choose foods based on the colors and the aromas and the textures and all of those things. And when I talk about meditation, especially mindfulness meditation, we're talking about really paying attention to our senses. And so there is a beautiful intersection of nourishing our souls and our spirits and our minds and our bodies using all of our senses to do
Yes,
that.
yes. And food is absolutely my love language. Whether it's, experimenting with recipes, and just enjoying a meal with family and friends, or just discovering new ways to support my body. Um, because we use food for a lot of different reasons. Food brings us joy, food helps us suppress maybe some bad things that are going on in life.
Right,
But we have to learn how to establish a healthy relationship with food. And that's key, is a healthy relationship. Not
right,
just shoveling just for the sake of shoveling, but really connecting to, like you said, the senses and the things that the smell, the touch, the feel.
right, right,
Yeah. So
right.
that's really, really important to me.
Yeah, and I would be curious to know of the folks that are listening to us, what do you feel your relationship is with food, and what would you like it to be?
Yeah.
Because that's a really important question. I mean, a lot of people at the beginning of the year talk about changing their food intake, going on a diet and losing weight. And the thing about that that sometimes makes whatever it is that we wish to accomplish difficult to accomplish is because we're using food as a way of self-soothing because
Yeah.
there's something else going on. And
Well,
until you really embrace the other thing, and it can go both ways. There are folks that really abuse food in a variety of ways. And then folks that don't realize that they're using certain foods or certain triggers cause them to do certain things with food that's related to mental stress or emotional challenge. And the food is just a way of self-soothing.
yeah. Yeah.
So I'd love to know from the people that are listening to this how you envision food in your life. There are folks that are foodies that really enjoy sampling other cuisines and different types of cuisines, and that might be motivated by taste or heat in food or aromas.
Right.
Some folks like really hot food. A lot of folks like really savory foods. Other people like sweet tastes. But, have you thought about when you go to that food that you love the most, is what is the motivation? Is there a trigger?
Right. Yeah.
We talk about comfort foods, what does that mean? And what is your comfort food and what is it that you're being comforted for?
And
Um,
and for me, cooking is more than a skill or it's more than a chore. It's a form of self-care. It's
mhm.
creativity, it's connecting.
Yeah, yeah,
And so through being in the kitchen, I've learned so much about protecting my peace and finding balance because
yeah,
you're there by yourself. It's
right.
you and the cutting board and and all your thoughts and your feelings and your heart and your passion flows through your
Flows
food.
into the food. Well, I've always thought that foods and preparing a meal, that people that are really into doing that and love to do that, they're actually putting love into the food. I
Exactly.
had a friend who was also one of my spiritual teachers. Her son is a chef, and he has an Italian restaurant, I think, in South Carolina. But, going to his restaurant and eating the foods that he prepares, they're so rich. And the aromas are so rich that you know that there's love and attention that's put into preparing the dishes. You can
Yeah.
taste it, you can smell it, you can see it. And that's one of the things that sometimes we don't give ourselves permission to experience when we're taking in food, when we're nourishing ourselves, that we don't take time to just appreciate the presentation,
Well,
or just the colors. I mean, it could be a bowl of spaghetti, but there's a richness in the difference of the colors and the
yeah.
noodles and, the vegetables that are put into the sauce that you can appreciate if you give yourself a moment to do that. And then taking in the aromas and, can you pick out the bay leaf from the basil from the tomato, it
Yeah.
it can. And that's, for me, that's a mindfulness practice. It is a form of meditation. That enjoying a meal can be a form of meditation
Hmm.
if you give yourself permission to simply enjoy it. Think about what's in front of you. Who were the hands that prepared the meal? How did they put those things together to create this thing that's in front of you? And really, really well, uh, meals that you enjoy because you've given yourself permission to take the time to really enjoy it.
Well, I'd love to hear from everyone else, everyone who's listening to us. I would love to hear, what's your comfort food? What's the dish that brings you peace, when you want some peace in your life? I would love to hear everyone share, just share their rituals, their tips, their
I was
recipes.
going to say the rituals. Is there,
Yeah, yeah,
when
because
you
we have
prepare
rituals
that
when you wake up.
comfort food, is
When you
there a
wake up in the
ritual
morning, what's
around
the
the
first thing that you
preparation?
do? So,
Hmm.
one tip that I would love to share, and everyone who's listening can take this with you. Every morning, every single morning, start your day with uh, a warm cup of hot water or warm water and lemon. And that will it helps to balance your body. It wakes up your metabolism and wakes up your mind. And just a warm cup. I know we drink a lot of coffee in the morning, but before your coffee, try a warm cup of water and lemon. And that's it every morning.
I
That's
do,
it.
I do that. I do add a little bit of honey and cinnamon to to mine. And what it does is it sets my digestion. It
Yeah.
wakes up my digestion and gets everything up and moving and active and ready for the day. And it makes a difference in how I feel when I do drink the lemon tea and when I don't. I
Yes.
recognize a very significant difference in my digestion and my metabolism when I do. So I love that tip. And I was going to say, for me, in terms of a mindfulness practice, that when you are preparing that lemon tea in the morning, that don't rush through the process. Obviously, you're going to heat up the water. You have the choice of using the microwave or putting the kettle on to boil. And I think there's something wonderful in hearing that steamer go off when it reaches that temperature that's perfect for your tea. So consider slowing down, making a ritual of putting on the teapot and then going to the refrigerator and pulling out the lemon and actually cutting a slice of lemon and squeezing it into the cup and
Hmm.
then pouring the water and just taking in the aroma of the lemon as the heat hits the lemon and then savoring that cup. It doesn't have to be much. It can be like a little half a cup, but take the moment to really appreciate and make it a ritual. Make it something that you do every morning and see how you feel. Do it for a week and then report back to us how how the ritual made you feel of preparing that lemon tea in the morning, knowing that you're doing something to wake up your metabolism, wake up your digestion. See if it does that. Did it do that, or was that just, are we just blowing smoke? And give yourself an opportunity to experience how the steam feels on your face. Mine, it
Mhm.
would fog up my glasses, but that's okay. And then, what the smell of the hot lemon, what senses it wakes up in your head before you take that first sip. And
Right.
let us know what that we're talking about 5 minutes. It's not a time-consuming ritual at all. But let us
We're
know
gonna
if
we're
it
gonna check
changes
back.
your day.
We're gonna
Mhm.
check back and we're gonna ask, just how it made you feel.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. All right, y'all. That's it for today. We just wanted to introduce ourselves and say Happy New Year and give you some tips to start the year. Don't bite off more than you can chew. We all make these um, promises to ourselves at the beginning of the new year, and some of us have gotten to an age where we just don't do that anymore. But these little practice tips that we've given you are just something to start your day on the right foot.
Yeah.
It gives you permission to give yourself a little self-care. It gives yourself permission to slow down and take 5 minutes for you. Put you on your list first and
Hmm.
do this little ritual for yourself and see what happens. See if it doesn't just really lift your day.
Right. And then let's come back and we'll talk about it. Let's discuss
Yep.
it.
Yep. All right, guys, take
Okay.
care.
Bye, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.